Hello, everyone. My name is Innocent, and I've been asked to speak to you because I'm told some of you want to know about this SatPak program thing. Well, I don't know much. I can only tell you what I know, and so I can't give you all the details, but I can give you most of the details. Okay, are you ready? Okay, you see, the SatPak program started back in 2017. Well, actually 16, but officially 2017, where we allowed individuals to enroll in the... Now, see, what they got were benefits, and they got to be a part of this and a part of that, and they got to be included in things that other people didn't have the option and opportunity to be included in. Wait. We'll talk about those things in a minute. I just gotta... Look, just bear with me, okay? I just gotta explain to you how it got started, okay? Okay, now, okay, wait. See, you guys, don't ask questions just yet. I can't answer your questions because they haven't given me authorization. They just told me to explain it, and so I'm going to explain it the way I understood it, because they say if I can explain it to you the way I understood it, then you will get it, because you guys are smarter than me, and you're able to, you think better than I do. So, okay, here it is. So they start the SatPaks, and like when they started the SatPaks, it was a person sent in their birth certificate, because they had to send in an original birth certificate to prove that they are a person. And so they sent in their original certified birth certificate with the seal on it from the county recorder. And all they had to do, it didn't matter if it was a live birth certificate or just a birth certificate. It didn't matter which one of it was, just as long as it was a birth certificate, okay, or a certificate of live birth. Doesn't matter which one. So they sent it in, and they sent it in along with an affidavit. Now, what SATCOMM did was it provided a sample affidavit for people. A template, and all people had to do was basically go in and make it apply to them. Now, a lot of people wanted to change things in the affidavit. That was not good. A lot of people wanted to add a lot of things that did not have any relevance or merit, but that was okay because it's their affidavit, so they are the ones responsible for the content of the affidavit. But some people say, well, there were mistakes in the affidavit. Of course there was mistakes in the affidavit. The SATCOMM can't do affidavits for people. We can't put words into people's mouths. See, an affidavit, okay, as I understand, an affidavit has to be in one's own words. So what SATCOMM did is it just provided a template, but it purposely put mistakes in the affidavit so that the individual who is doing the SatPak would actually put forth the effort to do it right. Okay, so they put the affidavit to the people got the affidavit notarized, and they sent it in with a copy of their birth certificate. Now, they received an email right after they made their purchase of the SatPak that explained all of this. Okay, oh, and that email, it also included an email address that says, hey, from now on, you must contact this email address only concerning your SatPak. Access to your SatPak or has any information on it except this email. And it's a particular department, you know, because of all the security issues in our society and people having data breaches everywhere, well, it was decided that we had to compartmentalize things and make sure that no compartment had, you know, gaps and holes so that things could seep out. Because we don't want people's personal information seeping out into the open. So we had to protect people's information and identity. Oh, and we made sure that nobody could get a SatPak if they weren't a person, and they couldn't get a SatPak for somebody else unless it was their minor child, okay, living in their home. Now, they made it a point from the beginning that only one person could get one SatPak at a time. So you couldn't get a SatPak 1 and a SatPak 2. You could only get a SatPak. Okay, that was just the policy. Well, now the policy is the same. The only thing is you can upgrade from a lower SatPak to the next SatPak up. So if you had a SatPak 1, you can now upgrade to the new SatPak known as the SatPak 1X. And if you get the SatPak 1X, you can upgrade to the SatPak 2X. But you can't upgrade from the SatPak 1 to the SatPak 1X then to the SatPak 2X. You can't upgrade twice. You can only upgrade once. Okay? That's what they told me, and it makes a lot of sense. Because see, if you can keep upgrading, then why would you get the first SatPak? That means that it'll be a payment program. There's no payment program. Oh, by the way, if you upgrade, there are certain consequences for upgrading. You know, so you don't get the full benefit, but you get a better benefit than you would if you stayed there in the lower tier. Okay. Now, let's talk about the actual SatPak. See, the way the SatPaks work now, the 1X, it's limited to only 700 people. Why 700? Well, because SATCOMM has taken the time to back it with their assets. They spent 2 years gathering assets, gathering actual assets and properties and liquidity. Why? Because they wanted to make sure that their SatPaks were backed by substance and not just backed by words, because there are a lot of people out there who are creating securities and the securities are not worth anything. They have no weight. They're not backed by anything. They're just sitting up there just floating in the air because there's nothing to hold them down. Well, what SATCOMM did is it backed its securities with its own assets and then took those assets, which it acquired from other corporations and other financial institutions. That's right, they didn't just create assets just to be creating assets. They actually bought the assets from actual reputable companies throughout the United States over the past 2 years. And it has turned out that they bought $8 million worth of assets for pennies on the dollar. And so instead of taking those assets and converting them into funds for themselves, they have taken those assets and they have placed them in an account so that they remain as escrowed for all of the SatPak owners. So the SatPak 1X is 1,500,000. Okay, 1,500,000. SatPak 1X is 1,500,000. So they can go in and say, hey, I want my monies. It's an early withdrawal. Now there's a penalty of 15%, but you get at least $3,500. So now your initial investment, and we don't count the tax because you didn't invest the tax. That went to the state. That didn't go to us. Well, anyway, the initial investment was $800, and within 2 years, you get $3,000. Okay, that's a pretty good return. That's almost 75% interest that you get back. Okay, now, so what happens is, if the person were to wait, and on the time period for everybody, including the SatPak ones who are grandfathered in, starts November 15th, all the way to 2 years from now, 2020, November 15th. Now, if the person stays in the SatPak for 4 years, then they get the value of the SatPak. Now, let's say it's 700 people. So 700 divided into 1 million, well, that's a lot. But I have to do it so I can add the math. Let's do 300. Let's add the SatPak 1 members, who, if they were to cash out after 2 years, they get at least $6,800. Okay? After 2 years, $6,800, SatPak 1 members. But we're not going to talk about that. Now, who's included in the SatPak 1? Well, the SatPak 1 is the original SatPak individuals who came in 2016, not the SatPak 2s. The SatPakers who came in, the original ones, those are SatPak 1ers, and the ones who signed up under SatPak 1 after 2017. See, that's why I said officially we started 2017, but individuals were introduced into the SatPak program prior to 2017. All right, so those individuals, $6,800 after 2 years is theirs. So their initial investment, many of them were only $200. $260, and now after 2 years they get $6,800. That's almost 200%. Well, if I do my math right, you take the 1, you carry the A, and then you add the Z, and then you minus the N. Yeah, see? That's almost 200%. Okay, now, back to the SatPaks and the value of the SatPaks. What happens is, let's say there are 300 people, including the SatPak 1ers and the SatPak 1Xers. So the SatPak 1Xers and the SatPak 1ers, what they do, the 300, at the end of the 4 years, they take the 1.5 million and they divide themselves into that. So, what the number is, that's $50,000 per person for an $800 investment, and some of them only $200. But wait, it doesn't just stop there. The SatPak 1ers, because they're grandfathered in, they receive an extra bonus. $500,000 they get divided into. Now, let's say it's only 160 of them. Okay, so let's just round it out. $500,000, let's just make it at 100. Let's just say it's 100. We know it's more than 100, almost 300 of them. But let's just say it's 100. Divided into $500,000. Are you understanding? So that's how it equates to. That's the extra that they get. Now, we're saying at least $500,000, but we might add another million to that so that that group understands that we really, really, really appreciated them coming in early ahead of everyone else, and they're going to get a benefit for that. Okay? We will let people know as time goes on. Now, see, the thing is, what we do with ours, this is our assets. So we get to choose what we want to do with our assets, and if we want to say we want to give those assets to you, and we want to back those assets up, and we want to put them in a place where nobody else can touch them, and we want to escrow them, and then we're going to put insurance on it because we're making sure that our assets are backed up and are guaranteed. Did you see the stock market yesterday? Today is the 21st. That was the 20th of November. Can you believe they lost $1 trillion in market value? That won't happen with SatComm. SatComm won't ever invest in no stupid stock market because the stock market is just gambling. And you know what happens when you gamble? The house always wins. So you don't gamble. No, SatComm don't gamble. We won't be gambling here at SatComm, okay? Won't be gambling. No, we're going to back up our stuff with our own assets. That's what makes us different from everyone else. Everyone else sits up here and takes your money, and then they put it out there, and then they say, oh, well, your funds are not guaranteed. Remember, investing in the stock market, you take a risk. Well, we're not doing risk here. The only risk we're doing is we're saying because see, you can give a person a fish, and you fool me one day, and then you fool me again, and you know, and you don't fool me a third time. So that's why we don't just give it to people, okay? All right, now, well, let's finish explaining the SatPaks. Okay, the way the SatPaks work is a percentage. Each SatPak, SatPak 1X, SatPak 2X, SatPak Plus, and the soon-to-be introduced SatPak Prime, all have a limitation of the individuals who can invest. That's why we don't let companies come in, because the company can come in and buy up all 700 SatPaks. Because then that means the rest of you wouldn't be able to buy anything. They can come and buy up all of the SatPaks, SatPak 1X, SatPak 2X, SatPak Plus, SatPak Prime, and then nobody gets to be involved and they get all the money. That's a whole lot. And we won't do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to allow only people and only one person at a time. So only one person get a SatPak for one person. One person can't get a SatPak for 8 people. So that's why we don't service organizations, businesses, groups, none of that. No, not here. You can go someplace else for that. There are other companies who allow you to do that. So you'll have to go talk to them, but we can't do that, okay? We can't do, don't ask us. Don't ask us because we can't. Okay, you're going to ask, but we're going to say, we told you not to ask, but you're going to ask anyway, huh? Yeah, I know. Back to the SatPaks. Okay, now, by the SatPaks being insured, being placed in an escrow account, and us continuing to add assets to them, there's no depreciation in the assets. You know, when your parents get that brand new car, because they're your parents, they make the money that they can go buy a brand new car, and they go to the lot and the dealer says, hey, here's the car you want. This has all the anonymity. And so you go and you say it has all the anonymity, and they say, yeah, it has all the anonymity. And so you say, okay, that's the one I want, sir. And he says, okay, it's going to cost you, and your parents' chin drop all the way to the floor. They're like, what the? And you like, mommy. Oh, I'm sorry, son. I'm going to put $100 in that curse jar, okay? And the dealer says, well, okay, we're going to work out a payment plan with you. A payment plan? Yes, and we're going to give you $2,000 off the cost. And your parents say, $2,000? And they say, $2,000, that's a lot of money. And your parents say, well, it's not really a lot compared to the actual cost. Well, no, it's a lot of money. And your parents say, okay, you're right, it's a lot of money. And they say, okay, sign the papers. And your parents sign the paper and you drive off the lot. And the moment you drive off the lot and you hit that little ditch where the water flows all the way into the sewer, so it doesn't flood, well, now your car is lost. Your parents' brand new car has lost $4,000 in value. So they really didn't get $2,000 off. They got a $2,000 increase. That's right, because we did the math. My father did the math when he got home and he was scratching his head and going, huh? It's called depreciation. Well, see, with the SatPaks, there's no depreciation. No, you don't depreciate with SatPaks. That's why we back it with our own assets. Our assets don't depreciate. That's right. Our assets are financial assets. We have gathered $8,700,000 worth of assets. Liquidity is what we are talking about. Now we're going to convert those assets to liquidity. Wait, what if we're not able to convert our assets to liquidity?